Hey guys, welcome to today's video. So today we're going to be talking about factoring trinomials. That's something you're going to be doing a lot of in your homework. So this one's for Patrick. Thanks for asking for what's this method that's going to factor trinomials. This is a surefire method. It always works if the trinomial can be factored, and it saves a ton of time so you don't have to do the whole guess and check thing. So let's start with this trinomial, x squared plus 8x plus 15. So to factor this one, all we have to do is focus on this term here for starters. Notice that the x squared term doesn't have a coefficient in front of it. That means the coefficient is 1. So we don't write the 1, we just know it's 1 if there's nothing there. But we're going to look at this 15 and make a list of all the pairs of factors that multiply to give us 15. So you just start counting down this side. 1 times 15. 2 doesn't work. 3 times 5. 4 doesn't work. 5 works, but we've already got that. Once you hit a repeat, you know you've got a complete factor list. Now, we come back over here and focus on the middle term. We want to see, okay, we got the middle term has a coefficient of 8, so we want to see if any pairs of factors have a sum or difference of 8. And we've got that right here. Now, one of the things that's great about this method is if you make your factor list and none of your factors has a sum or difference of that middle term, then you know it's not going to factor politely, and you're going to go over to either the quadratic formula or the complete the square method. But we do have this factoring will work because we've got that 3 and 5. And this is how we use the 3 and 5. We rewrite the expression and break up that middle term into 3x plus 5x. And the rest of the expression stays the same. And now we're ready to set up those binomials. That's where all this came from. So if you recall, the FOIL method of multiplying binomials, which is what gets us to this trinomial, comes from first, outside, inside, last. And that's where these terms come from here. And that's going to help us break this down. So the first terms, whatever was here and here, multiplied to give us x squared. Well, how can we be sure it's going to be x times x, which is what it looks like? Well, that we know for sure because we look at the greatest common factor between the first term and the second term, and that GCF is x. So x times what would give us x squared? Another x. All right, that takes care of that guy. Outside terms, that would be this term here and whatever goes over here. So x times what would give us 3x? Well, positive 3. Similarly, for the inside terms, something here times x would give us positive 5x. That's got to be positive 5. And then the last term, 5 times 3, gives us 15, so that checks out. And you can confirm to yourself by foiling this back out, multiplying it, you'd get this. Combining those like terms in the middle would give you the 8x. So convince yourself by just multiplying that back out. Now I want to show you a couple other similar trinomials, and how they factor. Let's take the example x squared plus 2x minus 15. And again, we've got our factor list for 15. I'll just rewrite it here. And we want to look if anything has a sum or difference of 2. And again, it's these guys. Now notice that I'm not even paying attention to the plus or minus signs in this case. This is one of the rare cases in math where we can ignore that, and because we're really just looking at what numbers are going to give us 15. So we'll break this up again. That's not what I wanted to do. Into something using the 3 and the 5. Now in this case, we've got a difference. The 5 minus 3, it's going to be 5 minus 3 to give us the 2. So it's going to be positive 5x minus 3x, and then minus 15. Now here we are going to, of course, pay attention to the plus and minus signs. So again, our GCF of these first two is x. This would have to be an x to give us that. Then the outside thing that came from the outside terms is going to be x times whatever is here. That's got to be 5. Inside terms is this guy. That's got to be minus 3. And then negative 3 times 5 is negative 15. So that's the factorization of that one. Another example is x squared minus 2x minus 15. Now notice all I'm doing is changing some of the plus and minus signs here, just to give you the idea of that's really important, obviously, what's going on with those signs. So again, we're looking at the 3 and the 5. We want that difference of negative 2 this time. So when I am rewriting this trinomial to reflect that the negative 2x came from 3 and 5, I know that the 5 is going to have to be negative this time. So it's going to look like this. Because I'm going to have negative 5x and a positive 3x to get the negative 2x. So again, I'm going to have that x there, x times negative 5 to give me that negative 5x, and then a positive 3 here to give me positive 3x, and then 3 times negative 5 would give me negative 15. Whoa. And one more version of this. X squared minus 8x plus 15. So if you'd like, you might want to pause the video here and see if you can work this one out using the method we've already been using. Okay, so we're looking for a sum or difference of 8. Again, we'll have those guys. Oops. And we'll rewrite this. And now we know they're both going to be negative. We're going to have negative 3x and a negative 5x and then positive 15. And I'm speeding ahead here, but you know, x times x. Now, to get this negative 3x, x times what over here to give us negative 3x? Well, that'll have to be negative 3. And x times what over here to give us negative 5x? That would be negative 5. And then negative 5 times negative 3, that's how we get this positive 15 here. So those are some very similar trinomials, but the difference is what was negative and what was positive in the original multiplied binomials. So those are really important things to pay attention to as you're going through your homework. And I will also be posting some videos soon on the other methods I mentioned, which again are quadratic formula, one of my favorites, and completing the square, which is also really useful, and it's a kind of long process, so be sure to check out those. Also, if you have any questions you would like to see answered, problems you'd like to see solved, let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching.